men want to be with them and women want to be like them. Their beauty is truly striking, and their style can become the standard for generations. Just looking at them, you understand that beauty exists and that angels live among us. Today on Facts in Box, we'll take a look at the top models of our time. Naomi Campbell. This model is from the 90s, but still manages to conquer the catwalk. This beauty owes her unusual appearance to her Sino-Jamaican origin. Back in 1977, she starred in Bob Marley's Is This Love video. She's been working on the catwalk since she was 15 years old. Naomi became the first black girl to appear on the covers of the French and English editions of Vogue magazine. She also appeared on the cover of Time magazine, and People magazine declared her one of the 50 most beautiful women in the world. Now, Naomi regularly appears on the covers of erotic magazines. She also participates in the shows of various fashion houses such as Robert Cavalli, Valentino, Dolce & Gabbana, and Gianni Versace. Because of her behavior, Campbell is sometimes called the Black Panther. She's been arrested and called to court multiple times for insulting and using physical force against her assistants and staff. Naomi also had an acting career and starred in over 20 movies. Kate Moss. Kate Moss is the model that broke all stereotypes about beauty. She's known as one of the highest paid models of the 1990s and the 2000s. When Kate was 14, she was noticed by Sarah Dukas. Dukas was the director of the London Storm Agency. She invited Kate to try out being a model. 2 years later, Kate appeared on the cover of Face magazine. She collaborated with Calvin Klein for a very long time, which made her a supermodel. In the early 1990s, the fashion industry was swept by a wave of androgyny, that being blurring the lines and the differences between men's and women's fashion. Calvin Klein was one of the first companies to popularize this style by releasing unisex clothing. Young, thin Kate perfectly embodied this idea of gender cohesion. Kate was the face of one of the most popular perfumes in the 1990s, SK-1. Then came the trend of heroin chic, which is exactly what you might think it might be. It's the trend of looking like a heroin addict, who's very thin and very ragged. As a result, the catwalks were filled with models who were super thin and had dark circles under their eyes. Kate Moss was once again at the peak of this trend. With Kate's popularity had come the era of super thin teenage models. In 2005, Moss collaborated with Topshop, where she acted as the designer and model of the Kate Moss for Topshop line. During her career, Kate Moss participated in many campaigns and shows of famous fashion houses, such as Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana, Louis Vuitton, Versace, Chanel, Missoni, Christian Dior, Longchamp, and David Yurman. Moss was the face of the Christian Dior cosmetic brand as well as the Mango and Liu Zhou clothing lines. She has repeatedly appeared on the covers of the most prestigious fashion magazines, such as Harper's Bazaar, Vogue, Cosmopolitan, Elle, and Glamour. According to Forbes magazine, Kate Moss is the second top model right under Gisele Bündchen. Kendall Jenner. Kendall Jenner is a young American supermodel as well as a participant in the reality show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Today, she is the highest paid model in the world. Kendall Jenner has been conquering high fashion since she was just 13 years old. In 2010, she signed with Wilhelmina Models as a teenage model. She began modeling for famous youth publications such as Forever 21, which became her breakthrough in the modeling business. In the same year, she appeared on the front covers of fashion magazines OK and Teen Prom. At the end of 2010, young Miss Jenner starred with photographer Nick Saglambeni. The photo shoot became a bit controversial because of the candid shots of a 14-year-old girl. But this photo shoot was needed, and subsequently, many suggestions rained down on Kendall. A few years later, Karl Lagerfeld invited Jenner to become the face of the new collection at Chanel. And in November of this year, Kendall was chosen as the face of the Estee Lauder cosmetic brand. In 2014, Kendall entered into new contracts with 3 modeling agencies at once. In 2015, Kendall also starred in an ad campaign and became one of the Givenchy Girls, a group that Riccardo Tisci calls Givenchy Gang. In 2015, Kendall, along with Gigi Hadid, made their debut at the Victoria's Secret Anniversary Show in New York. In 2016, Kendall Jenner was recognized as the Model of the Year according to the influential portal models.com. In September 2017, the fashion publication Daily Front Row called Kendall the fashion icon of the decade. And in November, she was recognized as the highest paid model in the world according to Forbes magazine. Kendall's revenue was $22 million. Gisele Bündchen. This beauty is known as one of the former Victoria's Secret angels. Despite leaving the catwalk, the 37-year-old native Brazilian is still making millions. This is thanks to her participation in the Vogue Paris ad and the Arezzo shoes brand. At first, the modeling business didn't appeal to Gisele as much as it did to her sisters. But once, she caught luck by the tail. At the age of 14, she went to Sao Paulo with some of her friends. They went to a local fast food restaurant where, by a happy coincidence, a representative of the model agency Elite Modeling was sitting. He invited her to try herself as a model. Shortly after, she would start winning modeling competitions. 2 years later, she moved to America. Vogue magazine called her the Millennium Model. Bündchen appeared on the cover of The Gloss 4 times in 1999. According to Rolling Stone magazine, the girl was called the most beautiful in the world in the early 2000s. At that time, she participated in many shows of famous brands. She regularly appears in commercials and on the covers of famous fashion magazines. In the same year, she became a Victoria's Secret angel. Their collaboration lasted 6 years. But in 2006, she wanted a 7-figure payment in her contract. The company's management just couldn't agree to this. In addition to constant shows and filming, Gisele tried herself in the cinema. She starred in 2 films. She was offered a role in the remake of the film New York Taxi. The second time, Bündchen starred in the film The Devil Wears Prada. In 2011, she became the face of the Givenchy fashion house. In the autumn-winter season of 2016 and 2017, she again participated in the brand photo shoot, while it was a rather candid one. In 2015, the Brazilian brand Colchi was shown at the Sao Paulo Fashion Week, during which the supermodel announced that she had completed her modeling career and that this was her last appearance on the catwalk. Gigi Hadid. Gigi Hadid is an American actress and model. She is known for starring in music videos. She has Jordanian and Dutch roots. She is one of the girls of the famous Victoria's Secret lingerie brand and the face of several well-known companies. In 2016, she was declared the best model in the world by the authoritative British Fashion Association. In addition, on Instagram, Gigi Hadid was called the sexiest fashion model. Hadid is the face of several lines for Tom Ford. She was named International Model at the 2016 Fashion Awards. Hadid's modeling career began when she was 2 years old. She was noticed by Paul Marciano from Guess, and she started with the Baby Guess line and later stopped to focus on her studies. Hadid resumed her modeling career by signing a contract with IMG Models in 2011. Gigi has been the face of brands such as Guess, Maybelline, Chanel, Max Mara, Tommy Hilfiger, and others. In December of 2015, she made her debut at the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Glossy fashion magazines such as Vogue have gladly printed pictures of Hadid on their front covers. Hadid did a photo shoot for the advertising calendar of the automobile brand Pirelli. Since January 2015, she's been named Maybelline brand ambassador. In 2017, she released a collection of cosmetics with this brand called Gigi Hadid x Maybelline. In the fall of 2016, Gigi, along with the Tommy Hilfiger brand, released a collaboration in which she participated as a designer. The last time the collection was released and presented in 2018 at Milan Fashion Week. The bright-eyed beauty starred in Calvin Harris's video for How Deep Is Your Love, as well as the video for Zayn Malik's Pillow Talk. In 2016, she was at the center of a scandal. Then, Jelena became the host of the American Music Awards. There, Gigi allowed herself to spoof the future First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump. Which of these models do you find the most beautiful? Let us know in the comments section below. We read every single comment that we get. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Until next time on Facts in Box.